Hey everybody, this is JDGaming back with a new video. Today we're going to be going and playing Psynchroak Monarch, which is something that I haven't done all that much. Link to that profile is in the description box down below. It is from April, just kind of barely tweaked it as a touch-up for right now. One major thing would be the inclusion of Trishula in the extra deck instead of Mistworm, but I thought it'd be nice to dust off this deck and see how I would like to adjust it, and what better way than to actually test it out in a match to see what I would like to update it like. So, as soon as we have an opponent, we're going to go ahead and use this. The basic idea is we establish a Treeborn Frog in our grave, which lets us go and use our Salvage Warrior. He's a level 5 tribute monster, of course. It lets you special summon a tuner from either your hand or graveyard upon tribute summon. So, lets you go for very easy synchro plays. And it's kind of like a junk synchron in the respect that it lets you recycle stuff from your hand, from your grave, but at the same time it also lets you go ahead and just play things from your hand, like the Gen X controllers you would search off of the Undyne. So we're just using some synergy there. We're playing against Majespecter Majespecters. That's gonna be interesting. I've heard a little bit about this. I haven't actually played against this strategy. This is a common trend, I guess. I just don't play against a lot of the new stuff all the time. But hopefully that improves as I get more matches in each week. But I think this thing is pretty much immune to effects, which is pretty silly. But and what card did he search? He searched a Crow. Majespecter Crow says, when it's normal or special, you can add you can add a spell from your deck to your hand. I'm not sure at this point whether that includes pendulums, because technically they are spells, but I don't know what the ruling is in other locations. Use this effect once per turn, cannot be targeted or destroyed by. I'm guessing, considering this thing let him add, well, it said Majespecter card, so that's a little different there. Nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and normal summon this Gen X Undyne, which will, as a cost, allow us to send the Treeborn Frog to the graveyard, and it'll simultaneously fetch us the tuner monster that we need to use with our Salvage Warrior on the following turn. I don't know what his back row is, but realistically, I don't really mind losing an Undyne that's already given me a huge plus, so we're just going to go ahead and eliminate his monster. Tribute a wind monster, target a monster, and banish. Oh, okay, I'm fine with that. I mean, he still has his thing in the extra, but if he gets rid of that removal for this, I'm fine with it. I'm not setting enemy controller because we want to establish the Treeborn Frog the following turn. We might be able to just push for a big game ender if we can just steal his big monster if he goes for something. Because the enemy controller, of course, with as a quick play spell, will let us just establish Treeborn Frog right again afterwards. So he has his scale. Normals this thing, probably lets him search another thing. Yeah, so it looks like this deck is based highly on consistency, getting a bunch of removal traps. This is a counter trap that says if a monster will be special summoned or a monster effect is activated, tribute a wind spellcaster to negate the summoner activation, and if you do, destroy it. So I can see that thing's going to be very annoying. Might actually be worth, depending on what he drops, summoning my Gores just to be able to eliminate, his cards without falling for this trap card, this counter trap. No, we're not going to use Battle Fader. Because that would end the battle phase, but that wouldn't let me establish anything else the following turn, because he's just going to negate my summon. Might as well get Gores right now before he can do anything. Alright, so we got our token. Not the strongest thing in the world, but still good. And because we don't have any spells or traps, we could still bring out a Treeborn Frog. Oh gosh, Raigeki. Oh well. Better that he uses his power cards on, things like this. I think in terms of card advantage, I'm doing pretty well. Because even if he 1-for-1s this thing away, he's not going to get too much out of it. Let's see, if I use Treeborn Frog, and if he's silly enough to accidentally negate it, it's a computer program, he might do it. Yeah, he did it. Does it banish the card? No, it doesn't. So, I get my Treeborn Frog again this standby phase, so I don't know. Oh, it doesn't work? Interesting. I don't know if that's because I didn't hold A to activate, or if it's because a counter trap will prevent it and shut it down. But regardless, we do have some other plays that we can do this turn. Like we could summon a Mathematician, still crash with this card and just get a draw off. Cannot be targeted by or destroyed by card effects. We could still crash it though. I don't see anything else I'd like to do, but with 2 Battle Faders, I'm safe. So let's just get a glow-up bulb or something in the grave right now. I saw glow-up bulb in the front, I just want to make sure. Yeah, let's get glow-up bulb to the grave for later plays. I don't want to use Armory Arm at the moment, there's no reason to. But I definitely don't want him to just have a free way to run over my monster. Let's see, he has 1 under attack here, If he goes for like a weird Xyz play the following turn, though, you might be able to get around Mathematician without letting me do anything. I don't know. With Battle Faders, I'm not that afraid. I just want to see what my options are. I'm not too concerned about the damage at this point. Yes, I would like to activate the draw effect. Teleport, that's really powerful. We're just going to sit right here. And I don't think the Majespecter Tempest goes and permanently negates the Treeborn Frog, so I should be able to bring it out. It's not like a Dark Ruler Hades or Revive King Hades or all those guys, like permanent negates, grave effects. So yeah, you can get your 2 guys back, and then he gets to search off of each of those. So yeah, 3 cards, unfortunately. You can go for rank 3 if he really wants, but so many free cards. Okay. So this is pretty interesting. It's a bunch of weak guys with some disruption spells and traps, but like in terms of this deck's main goal, I would think it's to 1-for-1 all your opponent's big threats off the board, constantly get free cards to overpower your opponent with advantage, and then keep poking for damage, right? But I'm not seeing this deck doing too much damage when I have double Fader. So let's see, what's this? Target a wind spellcaster, target a monster your opponent controls, destroy it. Okay. Or you tribute a monster. But of course the tributes don't matter because you're just setting up your special summon later. Right now, I don't see a huge... Well, if I have a Battle Fader, I could go Trishula using this and this. I could go Beals with these 2 as well. He's going to try to go and use his effect. I will use Fader because if he goes and uses this counter trap on my Treeborn Frog again, I want to have Tribute Fodder. So, not so much concerned about damage at this point because I'm not going to die, but I do want to have this level 1 on board to use for effects and for other plays. So okay, he decided to burn that off immediately. That's fine. Yeah, 1-for-1 to your heart's content. I can't let him get too many more pluses though, so I gotta break that scale if possible. One thing that could work is Black Rose, unless they have... Yeah, they don't have any pendulum effects. Wait, this thing... Okay, so that's not going to do anything. And each one protects its own card. Oh, nice. Rhapsody. So that's going to get rid of the Treeborn. Oh, it's... What? Oh, yeah, you have to double effect, I guess, so you can get rid of that. I was just kind of surprised because I saw him choose that. But I guess he just chose whichever one he felt like. That was first. Nice, nice. Okay. This thing's a counter trap, and he can just go ahead and negate my card, so I'm not going to play anything. We're going to use this as just a beater right now, because he doesn't have the ability to go and stop me from just reviving it with a Salvage Warrior. I'm going to kill this thing in case he goes for another Xyz summon. If I kill this, he just gets another search anyway, so there's no reason to do that. So I guess one of the things I could have done differently is the Mathematician. If I hadn't crashed, he probably would have killed it by battle anyway. Not guaranteed, he might have just searched that card. But at least he wouldn't have gotten an extra search, so I wouldn't have gotten an extra card, but he wouldn't have gotten one in exchange. So he gets to go and summon those 2 guys back. And one from his hand, I guess. Yeah. So I mean, this is pretty much this is a good example of what a pendulum deck does. A pendulum swings back and forth, and each time, in this case, it's building more momentum. It's coming back with all the momentum it carried last turn, sometimes more. So yeah, pendulums are starting to make sense now. Let's see, another one of the 1-for-1 removals. Well, I guess he's technically sacking his dude, so it's a 2-for-1, but then because he gets to search the following turn when he pendulum summons, yeah, he's not really losing much. He does have that counter trap. I think he can negate the summon of my Treeborn, or not Treeborn, the Battle Fader as well. Let me just check. Real Grave, or I'll just check with the log, it's easier that way. Where's the Tempest? So he can go, and when a monster would be summoned, or a monster effect is activated. So yeah, that covers Fader. But I really do want to get rid of his counter trap right now if possible, because I need to be able to push with teleport and a salvage warrior the following turn. He's probably just going to go and sack for his... He's going to play his 1-for-1, try to destroy my guy. If he destroys my tuner monster, then awesome. Or the guy I bring off a teleport. That will be great, because I can just econ to steal one of his guys. Wait, no, I can't, because they can't be targeted either. Wow, that's interesting. It might depend on what I draw the following turn, then, I guess. So still not dead, but it's kind of sad that I was forced to use faders just to bait out his cards. Yeah, that Rhapsody hurt quite a bit. And it looks like, I think Crow's only been searching the actual spells, not the pendulums, but I'm not sure. He's had so many searches, I really can't tell. But who knows, if I can establish like a Duels with just one synchro play, this whole game will change, because I won't need to summon another monster and I'll be able to overpower him single-handedly. So, can we establish that one monster? Please, another enemy controller. Well, that doesn't help me at all. So this thing is gonna 1-for-1 kill my dude. I can't even use these things right now. We'll try to push for something. And I don't have to target because it could come from my hand, which my opponent is not obligated to know. So now he has to decide without knowing anything. And, okay, so here's the thing I have to choose. If I choose enemy controller, he can just beat right over it. But if I have a Ghost Ogre, he can't, even if he goes and kills my other piece. Right now, it makes no sense to go controller because I don't think he will let me go Duels. If I go Usagi, though, that's just inevitability right there. Like, he can just kill the Usagi, and that's it. And he's just going to be able to search all the cards back the following turn. I don't see myself breaking out of it unless he misplays and does not go and kill one of my cards. So he hasn't played anything. We're going to go ahead and establish a Duels. Awesome, it's stuck. So hopefully there's no crazy hand trap in this deck. I'm just going to deal some damage. And how many 4s does he have? I don't think right now he can go and summon, like, an Honor Arc. Oh, it's the Banishing card. Nice. Wow, I thought for sure he was going to have that spell. So yeah, it looks like he won. We're going to go ahead and just set one of these econs. In case he goes and summons an Xyz monster, I can just switch it to defense. But man, that was a nice tornado. I guess I just didn't see that coming. I didn't see it. Search. Where is it? Is it Cyclone? Is that what this card is called? No, it's Tornado. Where's Tornado? I don't see him searching Tornado, ever. So, cool. All this game's come full circle. You don't win everything, but it's pretty interesting. Archfiend Eccentric. And a bunch of other things. So now he's going to get like a bunch of searches. The only thing I can target is Eccentric, and there's no reason for me to allow him to do an additional 900 damage. So I'm just hoping he goes and establishes some Xyz monsters and I could get rid of them. Or switch him to defense with the econ so I don't die. Chidori, no. I'm going to have to switch your dude to defense position now. Oh no, I'm not dead yet. What cards did he search this turn? I wasn't paying attention. He searched... What is this? This, I think. Did he search it all this turn? I'm not sure what he searched. Well, that's what I get for not paying attention. It's probably that card. barely hanging on by a thread here. Oh, that's fun. We're gonna set Treeborn Frog. And then activate enemy controller. And sack this and steal Chidori. And then activate the effect of Chidori and get rid of this thing. And then we're gonna bounce away. What do we get rid of? Return to the top. I'm gonna guess this. Pendulum scale. Oh, he's willing to kill his own guy to keep his pendulum. Well, it makes sense. He gets his thing back. But yeah, pretty much just this game right here. We don't have anything else we can do. Nice Rhapsody there. So yeah, the key with, I guess with any pendulum deck, especially those like Cleaforts and Majespecters that can constantly search though, is they will bring everything you invest your cards to killing back every turn. You are not going to win in a 1-for-1 battle. So you just have to establish all your cards as fast as you can. Unfortunately, this type of Monarch-esque Tribute Synchro deck isn't really the best in terms of speed. That is why kind of it's just a for fun deck. So I can imagine something like maybe playing something that's able to just slow the opponent down. Even if it doesn't fit with this theme, I don't know. Maybe Vanity's Emptiness, or a card like it, I guess. Vanity's Fiend, Majesty's Fiend. I don't know. Maybe something like that will be necessary in the main deck and stuff like this, just to survive. But yeah, we have some new ideas now. This is I think this was a pretty fun game regardless, because now I know how these Majespecters actually run. How great would it be if I still had a Fader, guys? I'd be able to summon this thing next turn if he didn't play Spell Trap. But unfortunately that 12 is enough to take me out. Good pressure. This is a fairly interesting deck. A bunch of weak guys constantly using their removal tricks and plussing to get removal tricks. Basically, removal tricks, 1-for-1 removal done right. I almost feel like Majespecters feels like a new gen gadget style deck. Just grind your opponent out by having superior resources, allowing your 1-for-1s to actually take hold. So pretty interesting. Let's go back and do a quick recap of this game to see what I might have done different. Alright guys, so we're back with this recap over here. Let's swap this so I can see what I would have done differently. So it really is, like, the best thing I could have done here is this Undyne, because it simultaneously sets up the Treeborn Frog, which Mathematician could have done, but it also allows me to fetch a tuner monster that Salvage Warrior would have gone to immediately. So in terms of this deck's main core, it got what it needed turn 1. It's too slow against a deck that's pendulum based and from this era. So we need to find some way to basically, I guess, modify this deck. I don't know. Like, I'm only putting 1 Gorz in here just to make sure if I draw it, I can use it. I don't know how I feel about taking it out completely, though, because this deck really doesn't have any defenses otherwise, besides Faders, so I don't know. I don't think that type of modification is necessary. It might almost be like this type of deck can only be played in a slower metagame. But yeah, I think that first turn was pretty solid. And like I was actually pretty happy when he 1-for-1 something as simple as an Undyne, but of course, once he establishes too many cards, I think it really didn't help me that he establishes his pendulum scale too quickly because he has so many guys who are just 2s and 5s, so it's just everything fits in those levels. The pendulum scales aren't wide, but they have just enough to go and do whatever they want, and yeah, they just had every answer, because it's searching, of course, so I think it's a really neat strategy. But here, with the Treeborn dead, I mean, my best play was just get Glow Up Bulb out for further plays, but with no normal summon left, I couldn't Salvage Warrior or anything, so unfortunately, I had to let him go and do this play the following turn. I did say, though, I think the Mathematician play should have been not attacking, just so that he didn't get an extra summon and search. Like, I might miss out if he goes and kills my Math with this, but at least he doesn't have another out to my cards. So, Rhapsody. So I read this because he searched it, but I didn't see this card coming because he just drew it here. And so I established that Beel's here because he decided not to go and use this, but when it's completely chainable anyway, and doesn't even destroy, like, that was the perfect out to Beel's. Looking here in the extra, let's see if I could have gone for anything else. So my 8 pool is this. So, like, Stardust wouldn't have helped me because he wasn't destroying. Scrap Dragon would be too slow. Colossal Fighter is pretty much just the battle version of Beel's. Beel's is just can't be killed by anything, including battle, so Beel's was better yet, and it still didn't work. Cosmo or Crimson Blader wouldn't have helped at all, and I couldn't go for Trishula because I didn't have my Treeborn, which is kind of sad. But yeah, maybe Leo, but I didn't have the resources to go into him, so it's kind of sad. But yeah, I really think this deck is solid in terms of its core. It's just, it's not a fast deck, and when you're playing against a grind strategy like this, I guess the grind strategy with constant searching just has the upper hand. I know it feels kind of like a cop-out to go and say it was a bad matchup, but I just don't think a slow grind game deck is the best matchup for something like Frog Synchro, pretty much. It's just too slow. I mean, I went second, so the opponent already had a leg up in preparation. But then in addition to that, like, I go second, and then I can't do anything big until the following turn. By that time, he had control over my entire setup, so kudos to him. Yeah, let me know down in the comment section below if you have any suggestions as to how you might revamp this Water Synchro deck. I do think it's still a really fun idea, and I do have it. I have the link to the deck profile in the description box down below, so yeah, feel free to let me know how you would update it for this format. Of course, the meta you play it in is completely different. Like, this Water Psynchroak deck actually works pretty decently in the slower, older meta that I typically play in at home. So yeah, like, you know, just let me know when you make choices, like, say, like, oh, you should try including this to combat this deck, or maybe go for this approach because it will help, like, deal with X, Y, and Z. Or Xyz, you know, so just let me know your thoughts down below, and yeah, let's see if we can make this deck awesome together. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is JDGaming. Leave a like if you did, because that helps me out a lot, and I will see you guys next time.